What's up, everybody? ShonnyDman here, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys are having yourselves a great week. Bring you the next episode as per usual, and we are doing things a little bit different. We're gonna take a step aside from the cosplay and things like that, and we're gonna talk about something pretty cool that I came across with our guests. I think it was TikTok. Is where I first
hmm
saw you. So. Tell us who you are and tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Aubrey, and I make TikTok videos about the 80s and about decades from the 50s to the 90s. And I just express how much I love those decades by dressing up and bringing those memories back to the people who lived through those decades. And I love them. I love the music from that time, and I love everything about the 80s. So, yeah.
All right. So first off, what got you into making your TikTok specifically about the 80s?
Well, it actually started with the 70s,
Okay.
from this creator on TikTok called 70s Rose. And I just found her one day and I just loved her content. And I started my TikTok from that. But then I also love the 80s, and I just started making 80s content with that as well. So I guess you could say she's my inspiration for starting TikTok for the 70s and 80s.
Okay. So what all right, so which one do you like more about the 80s? Is it the clothing style or the music?
I have to say the music. I do love the
Okay.
clothing style, but the music is, I
Oh,
like it.
sorry about that. Ignore ESPN. Um okay, that's interesting. So that's how what was your first what was your when you were coming up with the idea for your TikTok and even probably even your Instagram as well,
hmm
you've primarily focused on the 80s was the first thing you did, right?
I think so, yeah.
Well, tell us how you tell us about that. Tell us the idea. How did you put everything together that this is what you want to do? I know you mentioned the TikTok creator that you were inspired by,
hmm
but how long did it take you to like really put everything together and start posting this kind of content?
About I took it seriously, I guess a year after
Okay.
made my TikTok. And I I just realized that a lot of people love what I do, and I love doing it. So I brought that happiness to people. So it was about, yeah, a year after, and I just really loved dressing like that. And I decided, this is something I want to do. I want to bring that happiness to people, but also, myself, because it's a way I can express my love for it.
Okay. Did you get like any advice from your parents or relatives who kind of may have grown up during the 80s and 70s?
Yeah, mainly my dad. My dad is probably my biggest inspiration when it comes to everything 80s, because growing up he played 80s music, but not too much. But when I seriously got into the 80s, I was like, "Oh, I know that song. Oh, I remember that song. Oh, I know that other song too." But I always go up to him and I'm like, "So the 80s, what did you guys wear? What did you do with your hair on, this day or whatever?" And he just introduced me to all that stuff, and he told me the stories from the 80s, and that made me fall in love with it. So I get all of my advice from him. Like, I'll see something in a store and I'll be like, "Is that 80s? Did you guys wear that?" And he'll be like, "Yeah, I know some girls who wore that." I'm like, "Oh, okay, then I'll get it," because I want to stay true to it as well.
Okay, oh, that's pretty cool. So what's your favorite story from what your dad has told you about his time growing up during the 80s?
Oh dear. Um, I think roller skating, going to the roller rink with his friends, and he had a buddy, and I think his name was Jack, and they were skater boys at the roller rink, and they got in free, and knew all the people there, and him and his buddy would just like cruise along, and everybody knew him. And my dad is really good on the roller skates. He can like go backwards, he can like do turns and stuff. So
Okay.
I think one of his roller rink stories. So yeah.
Have you tried skating?
I have. I'm not like my dad though.
Okay. Okay. So that's interesting because I know where I live. It was interesting because where I live, the primary thing that people did, they were kind of like cruise up and down our downtown area,
Hmm.
and I was like, that's interesting. I mean, but then again, there wasn't much to do
Yeah.
back then. Obviously, you had like malls and stuff like that, but like Friday, Saturday nights, most people probably went cruising,
Hmm.
and so I don't know. That would be interesting to go back and look at that to see
Yeah.
how things were back then. Um, so all right, so let's say you're back in the 80s. All right,
Hmm.
and you're in high school.
Hmm.
What it's a Friday, Saturday night. What are your plans? What are you doing?
Think I'm gonna get some friends and go to the mall and
Okay.
probably shop a little bit and maybe go to a drive-in and watch a movie. Something like
Hmm.
that.
Okay. What's so what okay, what are your I know this is right on the spot, but what are your five favorite songs
Ooh.
from the 70s or 80s? Or you could do a
Okay.
combination of both. This let me say, well, yeah. Let's do five. We'll do five.
Okay. Right on the spot, all the stuff that comes to my mind is Girls with Guns by Tommy Shaw, To Be With You, Mr. Big, The Promise When in Rome,
Love that song.
hmm Warrant Heaven, and oh, it's a good last one. Oh, now I'm stuck on the last one. Any Styx song. I think Styx, Renegade.
Look at that.
Hmm.
The Promise, the first time I heard that song was Napoleon Dynamite.
Hmm.
That was the first time, and then like after I heard it, I was like, I really like this song, and so now I have it on my phone just because I like it so
Hmm.
much. It's a really good song.
Yeah.
Um, what? Do you typically dress 80s style in your everyday life, or is it primarily for your content creating?
It's both. I
Okay.
try to dress 80s every day, but I don't have that many 80s clothes, so I try to save it. Save the good outfits, I guess you could say, for like when I'm going out with family or something. But I also make TikToks on those days where I dress 80s.
Okay, okay. So what's your next kind of look that you're trying to like you're on the lookout for that you want to do?
Um, Probably like the mall style from the 80s, like the really big hair. I want to get a perm again and really try to achieve that hair because that's something I'm trying to get down. I'm trying to learn how to do their hair.
So I'm trying to think of what all TV shows and movies that are set around those periods. I think Stranger Things is
Hmm.
80s,
Yeah.
which that has some pretty cool things. I think Ghostbusters that came
Yep.
out in the 80s. Oh, what else? There were some pretty. I'm trying to think off the top of my head, but there were some pretty good movies that I know about that came out during the 70s and 80s. I think Fried Nightmare on Elm Street. I think those
Hmm.
were no, those were 80s. I think those were 80s.
I think,
So
yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street. I think Halloween. Some of those were in the 80s.
Hmm.
Um, Friday the 13th. I think I think late 70s, early 80s is what that was. There have been some pretty good. Oh, obviously Back to the Future.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so those those are good. Um, I like because I think of Stranger Things, but I think their recent season they had not their recent season, season three. You
Mhm.
know, it looked very cool. They had just built their mall and everything. It was very stylish, and it was just carefree back then. It looks
Oh
like,
yeah,
and so living during that time must have been really really fun.
yeah.
Because I think my mom she grew up. I think she grew up in the '80s. It was probably the latter part of the '80s, but I think she was born around '80 or '81.
Hmm.
And then I know a few people who were teenagers through the '80s and things like that, and it was something, man. I'm telling you, it seemed like it was pretty.
Right,
Again, it just seemed like it was a very fun time back then. Just,
right.
I mean, obviously you had to get a job and all that stuff. I what's so I know I said to five music.
Hmm.
If you could pick five concerts to go to,
Okay.
which ones would you go to?
Um, Probably Marty Stewart. He's not very popular, but he was in the 80s and he was a country musician. So Marty Stewart, um, Poison, of course, Motley Crue.
Yeah.
Um, hmm, I think Tiffany, honestly, Tiffany as well, and Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Okay. So when you're not doing TikToks, what does your day look like?
Um, Probably going out to lunch with my family, like my grandpa, or just listening to music inside. Um, just spend it outside or disc golfing.
Oh, disc golfing.
Yeah, disc golfing.
I'm not very good at that.
Yeah, I just got into it.
Oh, okay, okay. I
Yeah,
I knew a lot of people who were like really into disc golfing, and I tried it a few times, and I was just kind of like, I don't think this is my cup of tea. This isn't working for me. So, but you
yeah,
guys, you guys definitely do it though.
yeah, it's pretty fun.
Oh yeah, how long you been doing that?
About a month.
Oh, so it's really recent.
Yeah, my boyfriend wants to go pro in disc golf, so he's been showing me.
Oh, really? How
Yeah,
long's he been doing it?
4 years.
Okay,
Yeah.
he wants to go pro. I didn't know
Hmm.
there was a pro league of disc golfing.
Oh yeah.
Good for him. That's pretty
Hmm.
cool.
Hmm.
Um, does he? So does he ever do content like TikToks with you or anything like that? Or is it probably just you?
Probably just me. I don't know if he ever will, but if I can convince him, maybe one day. He's a metalhead, so he would kind of fit in that.
Yeah.
But who knows? One day you might see him in the background.
So does your dad? Does he watch your TikToks and everything?
Yeah, a lot of my family does actually. I have a funny story.
Oh,
My
okay.
cousins, my so we got a big family, and my cousin Jennifer. I was just talking to her the other day, and she was like, her son called her, and he was like, "Mom, do you know our cousin Aubrey? She's famous on TikTok." And then Jennifer was like, "Oh yeah, I know she does TikTok." And then Felix was like, "No, but she's famous." And he told his brother, and then they both followed me on TikTok. And then Jennifer already knew me on TikTok. But it was just funny to hear that. I'm like, "Oh, really? They found me? Oh, that's cool."
Oh, that's pretty cool. So basically, all your family just follows you now.
Yeah, they're like my biggest fans.
I'm sure you get a lot of cool comments about your stuff too.
I do.
Um, has the person that inspired you? Have you talked to her?
Yes, I have.
Oh,
She follows me on TikTok too. She follows me
okay.
back.
How did that go? How was that?
So I think one day on Instagram, I posted like some questions or whatever, and somebody asked me my biggest inspiration, and I tagged her, and then I also like wrote why she's my biggest inspiration, and she ended up seeing it. She posted it on her story, and then she messaged me, and she was like, "Oh, this just made my day." And then I it was a 70s video I did, and I sent her the link because she commented on my hair. She's like, "Oh, I just love how you did your hair, you know?" And I was like, "Oh, I did that because of you. You can watch the video if you want. I did a tutorial on it." And she's like, "Okay." And she watched it, and then she followed me. And that was like a dream come true, honestly.
Oh man, that's pretty cool. That is
Yeah.
good. You get to meet the person that inspired you, and now she's
Mm-hmm.
following you. I'm
Yeah.
pretty. I think I've seen her pop up a few times,
Yeah.
or like the searches and things like that on Instagram. I think it was her. I think there was one I saw where she was maybe in New York.
Yeah. She
Like,
did Princess Diana looks.
oh, okay, yeah, yeah. That's what I'm thinking. And so
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, oh, this is pretty interesting because it reminded me of you because she was. Well, obviously, hers was obviously different, and so I was just
Yeah.
like, oh, this reminds me of her, and so that's. I wonder if that's maybe where she got this from, or you don't
Mm-hmm.
really see a whole lot of people doing that or doing at least that
Right.
kind of content,
Yeah.
and so that is pretty cool. So, how long you been doing TikTok?
Um, about it'll be 3 years now.
Oh, okay, so basically right around the 2020 year is when you kind of got into it.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, that's pretty. Oh, that's pretty
Hmm.
neat. That's pretty neat. Um,
Yeah.
trying to think. So, what's if you could meet one famous person from the 70s or 80s, just one, or better yet, if you were trapped on an island and you can only choose one person to be with you there, who would it be?
Probably Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Okay, why
Yeah.
her?
Um, because they're one of the best guitarists, and I feel like I could learn a lot of things.
You play guitar?
Oh yeah, I do.
Oh, you just do everything, aren't you?
Yeah.
How long you been doing that?
Um, since 2019. So about
Okay.
4 years.
Um, and you're pretty good with it.
I'd like to say I yeah, pretty decent.
You're not. Oh, okay, I got you. You're not an expert just yet. You're just.
Yeah, not yet. I slack a little bit, but I know
Oh,
more than my dad, if that says anything.
so he teach you some?
Yeah, he taught me my first three chords on a guitar, and then I kind of picked everything up after that, and I like just started learning a lot of stuff, and he didn't, and he taught me stuff, and now I teach him stuff.
Oh, really? What have you
Mm-hmm.
taught him?
I've taught him some solos. I taught him the Twisted Sister. We're not gonna take it solo, and just like certain chords. He's like, how did you do that? I'm like, oh, put your finger there. And he's like, oh, I can't do that. I'm like, oh, you'll get it. You'll get
Does
it
he still
eventually.
does he still play sometimes?
Yeah. Yep.
That's pretty cool. Do y'all play together?
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool. So what can you so you've been playing for a little bit. What can you play like a full song or just like a few notes here and there?
Um, I can I can play a full song. I can play a few full songs, but yeah, I learn a lot of country because older country because it's a lot easier because the saying is like to have a country song you just need three chords
Hmm.
and it's pretty easy. But when it comes to like rock and stuff, I can't play a lot of the whole songs because it's a lot more complicated.
Oh yeah, yeah. What's
Yeah.
what are the songs that you know how to play?
Buddy Holly, that'll be the day. Twisted Sister, we're not gonna take it. Um, I can't think of any country, but just like any country song you give me, if I can get a chord. A lot of Patti Loveless songs.
Okay.
She's a country artist. Just Yeah, Mr. Big to Be With You. I can play that one all the way through.
Okay. What's what are some songs that you're maybe not working on to learn now, but that you do want to learn at a certain point?
Cliffs of Dover by Eric Johnson. That's a really complicated um like instrumental, but it's so pretty. I like it. That's maybe my main one. Some others, I like some Van Halen songs, like getting Eddie Van Halen's tapping style down.
What's that? I think there's a song I like by them. About a, I think it is Dreams. Is it Dreams? That's the
Yep.
name. Yeah, I do like that song. I heard that
Yeah.
song when I was a kid, off of the ending of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie.
Hmm.
That's where I first heard that song, and I was like, "Oh, I really like this song now."
Yeah.
All right. So, next question: You are all right. You're building a band. Okay.
Hmm.
Uh, you're the lead. You're the lead vocalist. You can be a lead guitarist if you like to. That's completely up to you. But you need a bass player and a drummer. Who are you gonna get?
Oh, okay. Bass player. I can't think of many bass players, honestly. Hmm. I don't I don't know his name, but the bass player. Oh, Tony Lewis from the outfield. I
Oh,
think I'll do him as the bass player.
yeah.
Um, and then the drummer, maybe Phil Collins.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then if you had to choose, if you had to pick a guitarist, who would it be?
Probably Stevie Ray Vaughan or Brian Setzer. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What would be your band name?
Um, Good question. I don't really know. Haven't thought about it.
Oh man, I mean, I'm sure you'll come up with a pretty good band name. I think that would
Yeah.
be very, very fitting. So we talked a little bit about the '80s. Tell me a little bit about the '70s. What do you like about that?
Um, I love also love the music too, but I think I love John Denver and the Carpenters and like the Mamas and Papas, um, Gordon Lightfoot. I just love how the 70s reminds me like a bright sunny day. Like it's just very happy. Some parts of it is just, it seems
Hmm.
very, very happy. And I do like the clothes as well because they're just really pretty and they're really cute.
Okay. Any specific music you like from the '70s?
Um, I do like the classic rock from the 70s. I think Van Halen started out in the 70s. Maybe AC/DC too. But yeah, just like a lot of the folkish like country. Oh, I do like the country from the 70s as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hmm. So you've been doing TikTok and Instagram for a little while.
Mhm.
What's the future look like for you when it comes to being a content creator?
Um, Hopefully collaborations, more collaborations with some of my 80s like biggest 80s inspirations like Can't Buy Me 80s or Glitter Wave 80s and just maybe in the future like grandiose and stuff, but mainly collaborations and in real life collaborations too.
Okay. Because I know most people, they'll like get reached out by like different groups of people that
Mhm.
focus on like what you're talking about. I can't think of any like '80s or '70s ones. Like I know, like for instance, if you're somebody that does like a lot of like makeup, you'll get
Yeah.
contacted by some kind of company to test out new, maybe not test out, but like they'll provide free samples or stuff like that for you to review. I don't know if there's anything like that. There may be. That would be pretty cool Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see you do. What about because I remember because like in some of your TikToks, your room is just full of. Well, I think it's your room. It's
Yeah.
just full of like posters and
Oh
just.
yeah.
How long did it take you to get all that, or was that some of that from your
Um,
dad?
None of this is from my dad actually.
Okay.
This is probably like a year. Some of them are record sleeves, and some of them are like Christmas stuff, like posters. But a lot of it is just printed out. I've got some things on my wall, like I've got. Well, you can't see it, but it's a Kenny Wayne Shepherd set list,
Mhm.
and then I've got some records on the wall, and just like I don't know, it took them like about a year. It wasn't too hard, honestly, to
Oh yeah.
get all these. Yeah.
I'm sure there's like a store that's probably near you that maybe has a lot of
Yeah.
this stuff. How
Yeah.
many? So you collect records too of
I do.
how many records do you have right now?
Um, I think about 200 maybe.
Oh, what? Whoa, 200?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got them all in your room.
Yeah. I've got a bookshelf over here.
Oh,
A
okay.
lot of them are hanging up, but they're just like, yeah, they're sitting in a crate, and then I've got a few shelves with them.
What's your most what's your most prized possession out of those? Which ones is like you if something happened to it, you would like literally fall out on the floor and die?
Um, of my records,
Yeah.
probably my Stray Cats blue vinyl record.
Okay.
Yeah, I love it. It's such a good album, but also like the color, it's so pretty.
So how many so do you just like on a Saturday when you're free, you just go out and just look and see what's something you don't already have and you'll get it? Is that how it usually
Yeah,
works? Okay.
yeah, pretty much go to a record store or like a Goodwill or something and see if I can find any hidden gems.
Oh, okay. Um so 200 records you basically got in a year.
Hmm.
That is interesting. That is something for sure.
Yeah.
What's one record that you don't have but you really want?
Um, Probably The Outfield. I don't know the title of the album, but it has Your Love on it. Whatever that album is. I do really want that one, but I haven't found it yet.
Oh, okay. Let's see. I think we have a few good wheels, but I don't think they have records. There are a few stores around where I live that have uh records. I know there's one that's primarily like 70s based. I've been in
Mhm.
it once. It was actually pretty cool. But I was never really much of like a music person, so I couldn't tell you what kind of records were in there.
Yeah.
Um do you have a record player?
Yes, I do.
So you listen to some of them sometimes.
Yep, yep. I got a record player that has a CD player in it, a cassette player, Bluetooth radio, and a record player on
Oh
it.
wow, that is very
Yeah.
so you have something for every little thing.
Oh yeah.
Do you have like cassettes also?
Yep, I've got cassettes and CDs as well.
How many of you have a lot of those, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, like the cassettes about 35 maybe, and then the CDs I've got a whole like CD like briefcase for it
Oh.
that holds 200, but I don't have it filled up yet.
Oh, okay, okay. That one.
Mhm.
So, oh yeah, because with cassettes, you gotta be very careful with those because like those things, the tape in those would get really messed up.
Yeah.
That is something. So that is. So what did your boyfriend think when y'all first got together and he saw like all of this?
Oh my goodness. He was kind of like, "Oh my gosh," but I've talked a lot about my favorite artist, which is Marty Stewart,
Mm-hmm.
and like if you could see my room, it's all a lot of it is all Marty Stewart if you really look hard enough. And I think it was the first week. I don't even think we were together yet, but he already knew my like how much I loved Marty Stewart, and he always jokes about that with me. But yeah, he is very musical too, so it wasn't too much of a surprise to him, but it's still like, yeah, this is me. I love music. I got a lot of records, cassette CDs, you got to deal with it. And he's like, okay.
What are the odds that you're dating somebody that kind of like has that same taste in
Yeah.
music and things like that as you? That's that's good. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Match made in heaven. That is for sure.
Hmm.
Um, does he plays guitar, doesn't he?
Yep, he plays guitar and bass, but he's focusing on the drums. He's a really good drummer.
Oh, is he in a band?
No, but he used to be in marching band.
Oh,
So,
okay.
but yeah, he's a pretty good drummer.
My best friend, he was in a band. Well, yeah, he was in a band, and they can never settle on a name. It wasn't like 80s or 70s bass. It was just like it's pretty much screamo, that kind of thing, and so
Yeah.
that's what they were kind of doing. But like he's a really good guitarist. And then let's see, one of the band names they came up with was Sight Set for Shore. Another one they came up with was O Balls. Not sure why that one, um, they were very into like Blink 182.
Oh yeah.
Um, oh, what are these other ones? Um, dang, what I can't think of the other ones, but they were very much into like those very popular bands during that time. I'm not really much of a music person, so I couldn't really tell you
Yeah.
like if a song was on, unless it's a song I absolutely know, I would just be like, I don't know what this is, but that's fine. It sounds
Yeah.
nice, so but I can't tell you the name of who are all in it. So, um, have you ever thought about so since you're very music oriented, have you
Mhm.
ever thought about writing your own kind of music?
Yeah. Yep, I have. I kind of struggle with writing music though, like writing lyrics and stuff. I'm just I just can't really think. I can't really do it. But when it comes to like writing like the chords, the tabs, I do like doing that. I do have one song I'm working on, but
Okay.
it's country, but
Oh,
I haven't really progressed in it much, but mainly I'm just trying to learn a lot of different songs so I can get more inspiration for writing music.
okay.
Yeah.
Uh, how long have you been working on this song?
Uh, since November.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any hints to us to like what's it about?
Um, if you know old country music, it's pretty much an old country heartbreak song,
Oh,
like inspired like kind of Ricky Skaggs and who's another one? Ernest Tubb, maybe. So yeah.
listen, those country music heartbreak songs really are the best.
Mm.
And so
Oh
that's
yeah.
I think that's how not all, but I think most people when it comes to country music identify that with like as breakup. There are a lot of like breakup songs in it,
Yeah.
and so I was just like, that's a lot of breakups going on for you to be writing that many songs.
Yup.
So,
Very true.
well, I look forward to like you finishing it and hearing it. I think that's gonna be really cool for to see you do. Um,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. But your boy does he write? Your boyfriend doesn't write songs. He just primarily plays drums.
Yeah, he just plays drums.
Are you gonna get him to like drum for you?
Oh yeah. Oh definitely. Yeah, but he only plays like metal drums, so it's kind of funny. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, he's a hardcore like metalhead. He likes Avenged Sevenfold and he likes the Foo Fighters and Tool and Pearl Jam.
Oh, okay. Well, the next project for you two is just making like a music video.
Yeah.
I think that's probably one of the next steps for sure. Is
Yeah.
definitely doing that because that'd be pretty cool for you to
It would
see.
be. Yeah.
Um, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Um, But I think this is where we will end the episode, you guys. Thank you for watching, and thank you, Aubrey, for coming on. This was very fun and very insightful because, again, I don't really know much about 70s or 80s music.
Yeah.
And you're very much a well-rounded person when it comes to this kind of conversations. It was pretty fun to really listen to you like nerd out over it.
Yeah, of course.
So, but as per usual, you guys, it should be up on the screen now. But for those who are listening on podcasts, Aubrey, how can people follow and support you?
You can follow me on TikTok at Oldies Aubrey and same on Instagram. And that's pretty much my two main platforms is Instagram and TikTok. So yeah.
All right. And guys, be sure to go follow and support her. Again, she does great, great content, and she's a very, very nice person. I think you guys will be very happy to follow and see all the cool content that she comes up with. And hopefully she will have a song for us the next time we have her on, because definitely we will want to hear that.
Yeah.
But other than that, you guys have a great week. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, comment below, and I will see you guys in the next video. See ya.